Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you all doing today? Hope you had a great week last week. I am here today to tell you a little story about the time I got married. Oh, this all starts a long time ago in a galaxy far away called college. I met this guy online. He was in England. Big surprise, I know. I was in Pittsburgh at the time. We just kind of had a lot in common. We would chat over IM. So we became pen pals and we maintained a friendship for a really long time. At the same time, I had a friend who was doing a study abroad in London, and she asked me, knowing that I had some British friends, if I could give her some of their contact information so that she could have a friend when she got over there. So I gave her my male friend's contact information with his blessing, and they actually started dating. And I was really happy for them when they were doing that because I felt accomplished. I felt like, oh, maybe I could be a matchmaker. Maybe I'm really good at this. I don't even know. I didn't even try. Unfortunately, their relationship did not last, but they maintained a friendship, and I maintained a friendship with both of them, so we all were friends. Flash forward to a few years ago, I was now living here in Chicago, and my British friend contacted me and said, hey, I'm coming into Chicago for a night for some work. Would you like to go out to dinner with me so we can catch up? And I said, yes, absolutely. That same day we were supposed to meet, our female friend, who he used to date, got engaged to another guy. We thought it'd be really funny if we played a little prank on her. She used to design these things called alternate reality games. Now, if you've never heard of an alternate reality game, it's sort of like a video game in real life. It involves real life websites and real life phone calls and real life locations sometimes where you have to go and get information, and it's all just puzzle solving and it relies on community. So it's a really cool concept. We thought it'd be really funny if we set up a little alternate reality game that would ultimately just end up the picture of me and the guy wishing her happiness in her engagement. We had to think of a way to get her to click on something, to get her to go down a rabbit hole. It's what they call it. It's the jargon, it's the lingo, look it up. So that she could pick up the trail of breadcrumbs and ultimately lead her to that page. It was just supposed to be a funny prank. What if we announced we were getting engaged? She would be guaranteed to click on anything that said the two of us were getting engaged because we'd never dated, and she would be shocked by that. So first we posted a picture of the two of us at dinner. We purposely made it look a little romantic with us holding hands, and there was a candle, and then I think we ordered like a chocolate cake and we were like sharing it and feeding it to each other. The waiter hated us, by the way, because we made him take all those pictures. Sorry, dude. I posted all of those pictures, and then the next morning I posted a status saying, flying off to London to get married, wish me luck. The thing that I did not realize was that my coworkers at the comedy theater I used to work at all saw that status update. I was not working that day. I was off that day, so I continued posting our little trail of breadcrumbs for our female friend, which included things like a picture of this fake-ass ring on my hand saying, look at my engagement ring, and a whole bunch of like congratulations coming in from other friends who were in on the joke. It looked really real, so I can understand how this went a little bit farther than I intended it to. But I wasn't thinking about that at the time because I didn't think that many people were paying attention to my Facebook. So the next day, I'm headed into work, I'm on the bus, and I get a text from one of my really good friends at the theater saying, what is all this engagement stuff? We need to talk. And I kind of laughed it off and I said, oh, don't worry about it, I'll tell you when I get there. She comes running up to me the second I walked in the door of the theater. If you got married, why wouldn't you tell me? If you went to London, why wouldn't you tell me? And I sat her down and started explaining the story to her. And as I'm explaining it, coworker after coworker is coming in the door, kind of eyeing me really funny, and then walking past us into the main part of the theater. And I'm like, what is going on? Why are these? Do I have stuff in my teeth? What's happening? It wasn't until one of them literally walked straight up to me and went, oh, congratulations, that it finally dawned on me that they had all seen the things that were happening on my Facebook and had believed them. The thing about theaters is they're a lot like high school. Rumors and gossip spread like wildfire. At that point in time, I was getting ready to quit that job anyway, for a myriad of reasons, but one of them being that I just didn't want to put up with the rumor mill anymore. I didn't have to deal with that in high school. I was definitely not going to deal with that kind of stuff as an adult at my job. not okay. So I said to my friend, let's see how far this thing goes without me saying anything to anyone. So that whole night I walked around wearing this ring, which by the end of the night was turning my finger bright green because it's obviously fake. It wasn't until the last hour or two of the shift that I was standing outside of the theater and one of my managers came straight up to me. I had my arms crossed kind of like this, and he saw the ring and screamed in my face, "It's true!" and then ran back into the manager's office, and before I know it, everyone is flocking to me asking questions. Who did you marry? Why did you get married? Why did you fly to London? When did all of this happen? So I kind of had to make up stuff on the fly. I told them that my friend had come into town for dinner, which he did, gotten into a conversation where he dared me to marry him, and I was not going to back down from a dare. He, being a celebrity photographer, he's totally not a celebrity photographer by the way, knew a guy at Virgin Airlines who could get us on a last-minute flight to London, and he said if I would fly to London with him, that he would marry me. So we flew to London, we ran into the nearest church, saying to the priest, "Hey, will you marry us? We want to get married today." The priest thought it was romantic. So we went out to a park and the priest married us in the park, me wearing a red dress and sneakers because that's what I had worn to dinner, and him wearing a sport coat and a flannel shirt. I even tried to tell them that it was not a legally binding marriage, that it was totally word of the priest only, and they still bought it. For days, people referred to me as the married lady, which was hilarious, especially when you consider that my ex was working there at the time. I'm a little evil sometimes. Basically, this whole thing became a way to amuse myself at a job I was miserable at that time, and it stayed that way until the day I quit. So there are people out there who I used to work with who may still think that I'm married to a random British celebrity photographer. So yeah, if you did used to work with me and you were part of that rumor mill, gotcha. In all seriousness, it is not a good idea to spread rumors about yourself or anyone else for that matter, but if you are bored, it's fun to screw with people. So that's my story of my fake marriage. If you have any pranks that ever went wrong or awry, as we would say in the literary world, leave them down below. I'd love to read about them. Also, thank you to anybody who sent me a message in regards to my video from last week. I know a lot of you wanted to send me something personally. All of the messages of condolences and sympathy were very much appreciated, so thank you for that. I should have a really cool video up for you next week because I've got 3 really awesome events this week that I am hoping to be able to film. I know I keep promising this. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I promise. It's gonna happen. Hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you next week. Bye!